It's time for JUCO Jam, presented to you by Dream Big Athletics, hosted by Tad Slowick, an exciting new podcast bringing you all the great action from JUCO baseball. Here you'll find weekly updates from around the country, highlighting the teams, players, and coaches who impact the game at the junior college level. Everything you want to learn about JUCO baseball can be found here and on our website at dreambigathletics.com. There you'll find our weekly team rankings, the top player rankings headed into the spring, and all the news of what is happening in the game at the junior college level. On this show, you will have many guests, coaches, players who will give us insight on the day-to-day, behind-the-scenes working of junior college baseball. And now our host, Tad Slowick.
Welcome, baseball fans, to another episode of the JUCO Jam from the week of February 19th. And I got my trusted companion here, Lou Temple, to join us in the fun. Woo! Hey, Lou, how you doing?
Mission's fine, Tad. Great to be here again.
Yeah, well, Central Florida, to me, one of the interesting things, we knew this was a good club and everything, and they're very well lined up. They got good pitching. But the thing that is surprising me so much is how much they've separated themselves from the rest of Florida right now. I know it's a dog-eat-dog world down there at Florida JUCO, but, some of these teams are going to be, a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. But Central Florida has really separated themselves. Give them credit for, just playing good, fundamental baseball and, playing really well so far in the season. Central Arizona has just been going along. We're really winning some tough games in conference. They got a really tough schedule early on, and they're answering the bell is Walter State. Walter State last year was extremely loaded with talent. They had one of the most talented JUCO teams I've seen, and to replace all those players was going to be tough. And somehow they've been able to do it. They got the swagger going, and they're playing really well right now.
So everybody's looking up at those clubs. Those are teams that you had forecasted to get out of the gate and do well, but maybe not quite this well. And I'm sure these teams will carry on. It's always good to get off to a good start and keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you got a big matchup this weekend. McLennan and Collie are going to go at it head-to-head. So we'll, number 5 versus number 6. So
I want to talk about maybe not so much a surprise, but I want to give you a lot of credit for forecasting Iowa Western coming out of the gym this weekend and have a good start, 4-0. Are you kidding me? And what I want to say is that Tad, you had seen them, I suppose, in the fall and had projected them to do good things. And up to this point, you're right on point. Tell us about Iowa Western.
Yeah, well, there's a team that's got a ton of talent. They're up north, and they're just getting started with their season, and they came out with a bang and played a tough McLennan team right away, a highly ranked team, great program, and they came out and did real well. They end up getting some real good relief pitching in that first game to come back and beat McLennan. Brian Ryerson threw 5 shutout innings with 6 Ks, and then Adam Stanton closed the door for him. He had 4 Ks and in 3 innings and really did a good job closing the game out. So they came back and won a thriller there down in Waco. And then they went up and played Weatherford, which is a tough program, and took 3 games from them. They had some real good pitching from Cooper Crompton, Noah Bush, Steve Montgomery. All those guys came out throwing well. Some of the good highlights on offense came from Ty Wood, Brandon Rogers, and Braden Smith. So this is a very talented team. Early on, it's tough to get it going, especially from the north, but they got it going early. So they're going to be, I think they're going to be one of the teams that's going to be standing tall come the end of the season too. So,
well, like I say, clearly you had them identified and you picked them before they even hit the field this year, and they have proven you right. So, gold star for you, Mr. Slowick. Thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about the middle of the pack there. You got your top 10, and they're distinguishing themselves. But right under that, teams like Pima, Southern Nevada, very competitive. Gulf Coast, they're all continuing to play pretty good baseball.
Yeah, very good baseball. One team in that who's on a kind of a hot streak is Florence Darlington. They've won 7 in a row, and they're off to a good start now. And they beat Hartford, which is like their big rival in the sectionals. I would imagine that those two teams might be favored to match up again uh, come the end of the season. But Florence Darlington's playing good, and your boy catcher Dylan Johnson's really swinging the bat real well still,
Nice.
395 average and stuff. And Will Durrell really is swinging the bat, showing some power with 3 homers and 16 RBIs for them. Spencer Hamblin and Cam Dunlap have really pitched well for them too, and so they're on a hot streak, and they're playing good baseball. And then lurking in the weeds right behind them is Gaston,
Huh.
which is in the same region for them. This is their first year at Division One, and they're off to a great start too. I mean, they've won 9 games in a row, and really playing well. They split with Walter State early in the year, and they're really playing well. So I think it's going to be those two teams who are going to battle for that regional crown there. Gaston's playing well. They got Nolan Strenario, who's 4-0, hasn't let up a run all year. 18 innings pitched, 20 Ks, doing real well. Trey Truitt has 4 home runs. Freddie Oliver's really swinging the bat good too, with a 391 average, 4 homers and 15 RBIs. And then Wade Kelly's hitting 388 with 7 stolen bases. So they got some firepower. They got some punch in that lineup, and
Tad, getting back to Florida just a little bit, a question about the teams that typically are very strong and probably playing great schedules like Miami-Dade and Chipola, hovering right at, just a little bit better than 500. Florida Southwestern, kind of the same, but I'm sure their schedules, they've been beating up on each other. Is that kind of the
right.
way?
And yeah, and that's why there's kind of, like I said, a bloodbath going on, and that's why Central Florida's kind of separated themselves from that. And
Right.
Santa Fe's been playing pretty good too. They're 17-1, and they're going to start getting a little tougher challenge in their schedule coming up. So we'll see what they have also. But all those teams, they'll be around come playoff time at the end there, and I'm sure they'll do real well.
Think
One series I want to talk about real quickly, they're around the same rankings there in the mid-20s, is Wabash Valley coming back after a slow start and taking 3 from a very good Georgia Highlands club, and playing pretty well. That's exactly what Wabash Valley needed under new head coach Aaron Biddle, and so it looks like hopefully they've righted the ship, and they've had a tough schedule early too, but it's nice to see them come out and play well. And then the surprise team in there, which I really have really watched the rise of this team, is Southwest Tennessee. I saw them in the fall, and they had some talented pitching and some pretty good position players, and it looks like they're putting it together here too. They've won 9 in a row also, behind pitching like Markel Dixon, who actually is leading the Division One in strikeouts. He's got 44 Ks and 21 innings pitched. He's 2-0 with a 1.25 ERA. So he just getting it done. He's dealing, and like I said, leads the nation in strikeouts. They got Colton Brumley, who's 4-0 with a .75 earned run average. And, he's got 24 innings pitched, 29 Ks also. So, we talk about a dynamic duo. We talk about Dorsey and Apor down at Gulf Coast. We talk about, the guys out west with Stites and those guys at Central Arizona. But, the Southwest Tennessee has a pretty good dynamic duo of their own. So, playing really well. At the end of the rankings here, we got some new teams. Tallahassee, they've always been a good quality program. They're breaking into the top 40 here also. And then Indian River, who I saw early in the year, they got some really good pitching. They got probably the top junior college pitcher in Gavin Adams there. And, they're breaking into the top 40, and hopefully they'll stay there and keep playing good baseball like they have been. On the underneath, I got the teams to watch. And one team I want to highlight in the teams to watch this week is New Mexico Military Institute. They're off to a great start. They're 13-1, and they got a couple guys who are really just tearing it up with the numbers early on. Jackson Peters, pitcher, he's 4-0 with a 0.64 earned average, and then they got B.Y. Choi, who is just going off with the bat. Hitting 596, 6 homers, 29 RBIs, 20 runs, 5 stolen bases. And he's just tearing up. So they got a couple quality players there, which might carry them into the top 40 here soon if they keep playing well. So
Santa Fe is 17-1. That's 18 games played already. It seems like we just got started. And of course, Iowa Western is 4-0. They played 4 games.
Yeah, and Colley's 2-1, right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's just the scheduling, but somewhere it all finds a balance. Somewhere in I don't know, mid-March or something. All the teams are in full schedule, and the teams that got off to a good start probably maintain that, and the teams that are chasing will find their stride too.
421 leads the nation in homers with eight home runs and 25 RBIs, scored 22 runs. Brady Cherkonwick, for catcher, you'd like him, he's the catcher for Connor State.
Right.
He's hitting 528 with 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, 15 runs. Robin Villanueva from Weatherford is hitting 397 with 7 homers, 16 RBIs. And then Jackson Castillo, who we mentioned early in the year for Southern Nevada, is really keeping that bat swinging pretty good with 467 average, 7 homers, 22 RBIs, 23 runs, and 8 stolen bases. So he's only not showing power, but he's showing some speed on the bases. And then we got Brady Browning from Chipola hitting 386, 6 homers, 21 RBIs, 18 runs, 4 stolen bases. Guys are just putting up some monster numbers early in the year, and I just
big numbers.
had to recognize them. Those are huge.
Yeah, huge numbers. And that might be the only thing hot up in Amarillo this time of year. I can attest it. It's cold up there, man. Up there. Amarillo by morning is get out of there by the afternoon. Good on that young man for getting the hot stick going. What about Division II, Tad? We haven't talked a lot about Division II, but things are happening over there, huh?
Yeah, Division II is just kind of still opening up. Some of the teams down south have played. Out west, there's been some good baseball going on, and Pearl River still leads the charge at, they're playing real well. Will Passo is throwing real good. He's 2-0 still with 19 Ks, 3 walks, 13 innings pitched. Alex Perry, Gabe Broadus, swinging the bats real good. Gabe Broadus has 8 stolen bases already and, really playing well. The team is playing probably the best right now as far as winning it wise is LSU Eunice right now. They're 14-0. I mean, they had a big series against ranked team Kellogg. Came down from the north, and they swept the 3-game set against them, and still looking very strong. Zach Thomas is swinging the bat real good, 429 average, 2 homers, 21 RBIs. Alex Saunier, also 429, 2 homers, 15 RBIs. Really, a couple guys swinging the bats real good. Pitching wise, Parker Webb's got 10 innings pitched with no runs. He's got 18 punch outs in 10 innings, so he's really tearing it up. Connor Bangy is really throwing well, 3-0. He's got 20 Ks in 14 innings, and Patrick Vienna is still, doing well at 2-0 with 31 Ks and 20 innings pitched. So they got another team from the north, actually, from Iowa. Kirkwood is playing real well. Also, they're off to a 7-1 start. They're a number 3 ranked team. They guys swinging the bat real good. Kyle Hayes is really turning up. Joe Simpson, Noah Furcht, we talked about them. And then Logan Rundy and Caden Stauffer are really doing well. One of the top hitters in Division II are all of junior college baseball, really. Reed Stallman from Des Moines area has got off to a real good start and swinging a bat real good there, too. So just want to mention him. Other big individual performances so far at the Division II level, and they're quite a few. We got Garrett Gruel, who I really like from Murray State, hitting 360 with 7 homers and 19 RBIs. Sean Smith from Mississippi Gulf Coast, 391 average, 6 homers, 19 RBIs. Harrison Taubert from outfielder from Northeast, hitting 406, 6 homers, 16 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. Alex Harrell from Arkansas Mountain Home is hitting 467 with 5 homers, 22 RBIs. I think 22 RBIs leads Division II in RBIs, 14 runs, 5 stolen bases. Cade Tucker from Northern Oklahoma, Tonkawa, is hitting 475 with 3 homers, 20 RBIs. And then one guy I want to mention is more of a speed guy, Andrew Biddle from Glendale. He's hitting 389, 14 homers, 16 runs, 16 stolen bases already early in the year. So
Jeez.
he's grabbing more than a stolen base a game. So really making things happen for them in the bases. They also got a pitcher who's doing well, Brock Jessup from Glendale. He's 4-0 with 1.69 earner average. Jared Fugit from Heston is 4-0 with a 1.54. Michael Riley from Gateway, closer, 5 saves already, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 7 innings pitch. And then Max Wyndham, a right-handed pitcher from Lake Sumter, really throwing the ball well, 3-0 with a 2.12 earned run average, 34 punch-outs in 17 innings. So he's striking out 2 batters every inning. So good on
He's
Max
getting the job
Wyndham.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And, this will start kicking around in the next week or two. Division II will be going real strong also. And, Division III is right behind them. And, as things clear up north, I think you're going to see a lot more baseball and quality baseball at that. As you can tell by some of these guys who are putting up numbers, you'll see the same thing at the Division III level. Some guys really just going off because
Yeah, it's
they're
impressive
good
to
quality
me
players.
this day and age, Tad. The guys that you're talking about swinging the bats, some of them are out of what we refer to as northern schools, Iowa, and that just says to me that the work in the cage, the focused work on swings, soft toss, short toss, tee work, and visualization, all of that real focused work for hitters is being applied out on the field in game situations. It's impressive because I think that's just a continued tribute to the type of technology that we're continuing. You still got to play the games. It's still, you got to face the guy that's going to throw your timing off or get you out. But you're a little more prepared than you used to be. I can tell.
No doubt, and I think give credit to the coaches too, and
Right.
the player development part of junior college baseball, which I think it's definitely overlooked at times. And that's what these kids come here to do. They can't come to get better. Maybe they weren't quite the cream of the crop out of high school and didn't get that big ride, and now they're at a place where they can play every day and get better and be out, take the mound every day and get their opportunities to shine. And like I said, it's a combination of their hard work of the players and the guidance of the coaches and the coaching, that quality coaching that there is at the junior college level. I think that sometimes gets overlooked.
Give you credit continually for knowing these coaches, developing and building that rapport, for knowing the players, from a professional evaluator, person that's done it and does it and recognizes, grades these guys out.
Yeah, I mean, and I really do enjoy evaluating these kids too. As there's some really good players, and to see their work ethic around the field and see the way they play between the white lines. It's just great to see, the enthusiasm and the passion they have for playing the game. And that's what makes a lot of these good players that good, is because they do have the passion to play that game. So.
Well, it's showing up in the records. Everybody's teeing it up and answering the bell, and that's always a good thing. This time of year, baseball season, we're starting spring training and pro ball. The big guys have shown up, and the minor leaguers will report. These days,
Right.
Those minor league kids can show up almost the same time as the big leaguers and find a way to get some workouts in. Clubs don't mind, I guess. And
right, they get down to spring training early, and the clubs don't mind them using the fields, and how different it is than when we were back playing. Guys went to get in shape at spring training. Now
right.
Everybody, if you don't come ready to go, you're lost. And I think you're seeing that at the college level, the high school levels now. I mean, no one's coming to just kind of cruise through the beginning of the season. Everybody's hitting the deck running hard, and it's fun to see the competitiveness of all these players around the country.
Tad, when the high school seasons start, do the junior college recruiters have access to getting out to see them, or is that more of a summer evaluation?
Everything's more of a summer exercise, but it's amazing how these schools get out and still see players. I mean, 4-year schools, they got different rules, but the junior college coaches are getting out, seeing players all the time. I mean, especially these good programs, and if they want to stay on top, they got to find the better kids, and they're out shopping around all the time.
Well, that's where you come in, my friend. I would assume that a player who fits in a program, and a program that fits for a player. So
yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that, and that's the big thing. You just hit a big point there also about finding the right place for you to play, not necessarily the top program or whatever, but just a good place where you could go play and get developed, and be in the lineup and get the fair shake. So.
This has been a great week. I'm so excited for next week. The schedules look good. The weather is in spring. It's a great time. It's warm out here on the West Coast now during game time, and I'm sure the ice will be melting off any time in Chicago. Ted.
Yeah, we actually have had kind of a mild winter per se. You know what I mean? The days when it is rough, no one's talking that way. But overall, it's been kind of mild, and hopefully the spring breaks early, and people are ready to go. So we'll be excited. And then, like you said, we're going to bring it your way. When all these games start happening, we're going to bring you all the action. So, and you can get all this information at dreambigathletics.com. And we're your stop for all of JUCO baseball.
That's right. You can listen to this podcast on the JUCO Jam podcast YouTube channel under JUCO Jam. And movies, we're still doing those, aren't we?
We're still doing those. I hope so. I hope you're still doing them at least.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing them, but at least you'll be doing them. So
we got to do those. Good. I had an audition for a Kevin Costner movie yesterday.
Wow.
He's doing a Western sort of Dances with Wolves meets Open Range. Costner, he likes the whole Yellowstone world that he's helped to create. So that would be fun to work with him, and also because he has this baseball passion, right? Not just Bull Durham.
Oh,
but I think he did this thing.
Love of the Game, you're talking about?
Thank you. Love of the Game, where he was throwing the perfect game. Was he throwing a perfect game?
Yep, he's throwing the perfect game. So against the Yankees, so
that's
the Tigers.
Yeah,
so.
That
can't get enough of those baseball movies. I love them. Angels in the outfield, like you were in there too, my friend. So
that was all good. That was some of the best baseball acting that I've ever done. Actually, it's the only baseball acting I've ever done. I can't say that. Those who saw me play probably said he acted like a player, but he wasn't much
acted
of a
like a player. That's good.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Tad.
All
I
right.
will. I'll look forward to next week, huh?
Yeah, definitely next week. A lot more action. So this is Tad Slowick with another episode of the JUCO Jam. Signing off, saying adios to my friend Lou Temple, and we'll see you next week, folks. Take care.
You've been listening to JUCO Jam. For all your junior college needs, go to dreambigathletics.com and make sure to tune in to next week's episode of JUCO Jam.